Okay, you should be seeing my screen now. We are still continuing to run 0924 on the testnet and 0923 on the mainnet, but we're getting closer to upgrading or updating the 0920, the read-only nodes on the mainnet to 0924. Basically, the 0924 changes are changes in the read-only node. There are changes to the API to be able to provide functionality requested by the exchanges to report state and transaction history. So those are the kinds of things that, of course, everybody else also benefits from those. So where we are right now, we're looking at the performance of some of those calls and see if we can make some improvements to that, potentially some kind of a caching strategy or something. And then once we know how we want to deliver that on the mainnet observer nodes, that's what we're going to do. So the team is working quite vigorously on that at this point in time. Most of the guys are working on that. The other activities are, there has been progress in each of them, but basically the activities remain the same because they are significant activities. So NetZipper is continuing to test the configuration simplification and configuration changes that he was working on. He found some issues and he's trying to resolve those. The last finalized state, we made progress on that in terms of being able to get to the last finalized state at any given point in time and say, this is what it is, this is the data that captures the state correctly. But there are still changes to be done in the Casper code and all that for that to be able to be properly presented in a consistent manner. So that's being worked on. Tomislav is continuing to work and test that. So that'll take a little while still. The Node.js API, this is in addition to Rchain, this is a new API that's available with the same calls and functionality as in the Rchain. But this is available now. And it's part of the 0924. Gurinder has been working on improving the monitoring, making the monitoring more resilient by spreading it across multiple zones and multiple cloud providers. That work is going on. And we're also looking into improving the monitoring of the nodes when they go down and how we bring them back, automate portions of that we can handle at this point in time. So that's ongoing work. Tomislav did his first session of the, I guess we're just calling them education sessions, and I'm calling them teach outs in the debriefs. Somebody was suggesting in the education channel a name Rchain University. So it may not be exactly branded at this time, but basically we are, this is an effort to significantly expand and do education sessions on a continuous basis so that more people can engage with it. And the first session was yesterday where Tomislav was demonstrating how to build Node in different environments. I think they were able to, in addition to just locally compiling, they were able to demonstrate compiling it remotely and also in the WSI environment on the Windows. So that's, the videos would be available as YouTube links. Look in the education channel on the Rchain if you're interested in the times and all that. But basically it's Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern. And it's in the Zoom room that I posted here, Jim Whitescover's Zoom room. That's basically much of the update. We have tomorrow is Thursday. We have Thursdays 10 a.m. Eastern. We meet for tech governance. I'll post the Zoom room here for that. Actually, I'll update this document with that. That happens in my room. Those are all the changes I have. I mean, all the updates I have. Are there any questions on any of this? If not, over to you, Greg.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted to add a little color to your statements about the last finalized state. So last time, the last big update was that we were able to save the finalized state, but that saving it is not the same as transmitting it. So on Monday, Thomas Love reported that he could transfer the finalized state. So there's still a lot of work to do in terms of supporting that with messages, but that's a big step forward. And so we're making observable progress with this. And once that's done, then of course external nodes will be able to easily catch up. Then one of the first applications of that, of course, will be for exchanges to run their own observer nodes, as opposed to having them entirely run by the co-op, which will be a good step in terms of getting support throughout the community for decentralizing the network. Right? So it's actually we have a concerted effort to decentralize, and it's happening in a conservative and safe fashion, which is great. To be honest, it makes sure that we're proceeding in steps that are tested and correct. So and it turns out to be our advantage to go in this way. Any questions about that? Okay, moving on. Yesterday we had a special board meeting. Among the many items discussed is that the board will approved a sort of online workshop hackathon where groups present basically some pitches for applications that they think should be built on Rchain. The details on Rchain together with DAPI, and the details will be put forward very soon. But I believe that there'll be 2 sessions, and the first of these I think we agreed was going to be held on the 23rd. We'll put the official announcement and announcements on Discord. But we're really looking forward to this. I think it should be a lot of fun. So if anyone has any questions about that, now's a good time. Alternatively, we can take up the conversation in Discord. Any questions about the hackathon, ideathon? Okay, moving on, we have received a small payment from the stimulus package. It's very small, but it seems to be indicating that we're moving in the right direction, that we're not out of the running for the larger funds. So I will be following up with the SBA to find out exactly the status of all of our applications. I wanted to show folks, let me do a quick screen share here. Hang on a second. Okay, so just to point out, I have, over the last 6 months, I have filled out hundreds of these kinds of forms. So people wonder why I'm not in Discord while I'm busy doing this kind of paperwork. And anyway, so the point is BECU is an organization very, very much like us. And yet when we go to apply for the stimulus package, a payroll protection program, the form doesn't include an organization that is structured the way BECU itself is structured. So this is the kind of rigmarole that we have to go through, right? So there's literally nothing I can do here except to say, you know, Rchain is a member-owned cooperative. There are more than 1,000 members. You don't want, first of all, you have not provided me enough space, and you don't want all of the members here. So this is the kind of fit that we have within the business organization world. They're not quite ready to deal with the cooperative businesses, even though BECU is one itself and proudly asserts that in their marketing documentation. Anyway, so it's just I thought it was funny, humorous, ironic. Any questions about that?
Did they say that they weren't going to send a larger portion of the emergency relief funds, or did they just send some and we don't know if they're going to send more?
The latter. There's been no proper communication about the status. So I'll be back on the phone both with BECU and with the SBA to find out these kinds of details. There's been like zero communication. Just yesterday, a small amount of money appeared in our account, you know, and it's such a small percentage of our monthly payroll. It's funny, but at least it means we're not out of the running, as far as I know. Okay. Any other questions or comments about that? All right. So there have been a lot of very, very good developments with respect to foreign exchanges. We will be talking about that in the closed door member session. What I can say is everything has been wholly positive in that direction. I will note on that point that KuCoin has been set up so that if you withdraw your ROC, the corresponding REV transaction will be reflected using the target address calculated from the ROC withdrawal. So again, if you simply withdraw the ROC to an address, and preferably an address for which you have the private key, the corresponding REV transaction will take place on the Rchain mainnet. And KuCoin has already, the KuCoin token holdings have already been drawn down to about 4 million. So please remember to withdraw your tokens so that KuCoin doesn't claim them for themselves on May 8th. So I guess that gives you 8 plus 15, so 23 days. Don't put it off. In another note, it's probably still much no, I think, yeah, anyway. Just so that, it's probably much too early to talk about it, but just so that people are aware, one of our members who's a trial lawyer in Australia mentioned that because of COVID-19, the hearings are being conducted via remotely and recorded to video, but that runs counter to Australian law, where hearings are supposed to be open. And so they want to And so, of course, there's a public trust issue between the courts and the citizens. So a blockchain that could manage video data is one that might provide an interesting MVP to the Australian court system, where so the blockchain is essentially owned. The nodes are owned by the public, and the data is provided to the public via that shard. So I have been looking into what it would take to run this via the RCAT offering, and have been discussing with various folks some of the technical details. It certainly looks within reach. So we're going to see if there's appetite within the Australian court system for a solution like this. Any questions about that? Okie doke. Well, I think that is everything. There will be more details, business sensitive details in the closed door session on Friday. Does anybody have any questions or comments for that they need to air here? Okie doke. Well, thanks everyone. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and looking forward to speaking with you on Friday and seeing you on Discord. Ciao for now.